Hello guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial video, we'll be solving about 10 most repeated PostUTME questions in physics. We'll be solving 10 most repeated PostUTME questions in physics. The first question we have for today says, a car accelerates uniformly from rest to a speed of 30 meters per second in 10 seconds. What distance does it cover during this time? Option A says 150 meters, option B 300 meters, option C 450 meters, option D 600 meters. Solution. Given from the question, they gave us what? The final velocity V to be what? 30 meters per second. They also gave us time. The time given here is what? 10 seconds. They say what distance does it cover during this time? So the distance S is unknown. From Newton's third law of motion, we can remember that S is equal to UT plus 1 over 2 AT squared. Also, if we recall this formula, Newton's second law, that V is equal to U plus AT. Here, we know the final velocity to be what? 30. That's 30 meters per second. Is equal to the initial velocity, we don't know it, is 0. Plus, it was not given in the question, is 0. Acceleration is unknown. A. The T here is time. The time given to us from the question is 10 seconds. So we have 10 seconds. This is 30 is equal to 0 plus A times 10 gives us 10A. This is the same thing as 30 is equal to 10A. If we make acceleration here the subject of formula, we will have A is equal to 30 divided by 10. And this will give us what? 3. Acceleration is measured in what? Meters per second squared. Now we have gotten the value of acceleration A to be this. We'll substitute this value for A into this equation to get the distance. Here, S is equal to U. Don't forget our initial velocity is what? 0. So we have 0 into T. Our T is what? 10 seconds. 10 seconds plus 1 over 2. The acceleration we got here is what? 3 meters per second squared into our T is what? 10 seconds raised to power 2. The distance is equal to 0 times 10 is 0 plus, this is the same thing as 3 times 1 is 3 over 2 times 10 raised to power 2 is 10 multiplying itself 2 times, which is 10 times 10, and to give us 100. This is equal to 0 plus 3 times 100 will give us 300 over 2. 0 plus this is the same thing as 300 over 2. So 300 over 2 will give us what? 150. Don't forget, distance is measured in what? Meters. So this is 150 meters. This is our final answer. Therefore, from the options, we can deduce that the final answer for this question is A, 150 meters. So option A is the correct answer. Question 2 says, a force of 20 newtons is applied to push a box across a floor. If the box moves 5 meters in the direction of the force, what work is done? Option A says 4 joules, option B says 25 joules, option C says 100 joules, and option D says 200 joules. Now, solution. From the question, we were given the force. Force is what? 20 newtons. So we have force as 20 newtons. Also, from the question, we were given that the box moves in, we were given distance to be what? 5 meters. So distance is equal to 5 meters. Now, recall the formula that they said we should find the what? The work done. Work we don't know. But recall the formula. Recall that work done is the force acting perpendicular distance. That is the force times the distance. The formula for work done is given at W, which is work done, is equal to force times distance cos theta, where theta is the angle. Now, since the force and the direction, since the force and distance is in the same direction, since force and distance is in the same direction, theta here is 0. Since force and distance is in the same direction, theta is equal to 0. Now, if theta is equal to 0, cos 0 is equal to 1. Cos 0 degrees is equal to 1. Therefore, when we substitute into this equation, work done is equal to force. The force we have here is what? 20 newtons times the distance we have is what? 5. That's 5 meters times cos 0. Since we said theta is equal to 0, so cos 0 is equal to 1 times 1. This is equal to 20 times 5 is 100 times 1 is the same 100. So work done, W, is equal to 100. The unit for work done is joules. Work done is measured in joules. So this is the final answer. The correct option here is option C, 100 joules. So this is the correct option. Question 3 says, a body of mass 5 kg is dropped from a height of 10 meters. Calculate its velocity just before hitting the ground. They gave us acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meters per second squared. Option A says 10 meters per second. Option B, 14 meters per second. Option C, 20 meters per second. And option D, 25 meters per second. Solution. From the question, we are given mass. So we have mass to be 5 kg. They say it is dropped from a height of 10 meters. They gave us height, h, to be what? 10 meters. They say we should calculate its velocity just before hitting the ground. So velocity, that is the final velocity, we don't know. They gave us acceleration due to gravity, g, to be 10 meters per second squared. Now, we are going to solve this question using the formula for energy conversion or kinematics. The formula states that V square is equal to u square plus 2gh, where this is the final velocity and this is the initial velocity. From this question, initial velocity was not given to us, so it is 0. Now the final, we have v squared is equal to 0 squared plus 2g. Acceleration to gravity was given as what? 10 meters per second. So we have times 10. The height is given as what? 10 meters. So we have 10 meters. V squared is same thing as 0 is raised to the power 0. So this is off the ball game. Here we have 2 times 10 is 20. 20 times 10 is what? 200. So we have 200 here. We are looking for V. That's velocity and not velocity squared. So when we solve, for us to take this stuff, we have to take the square root of both sides. We have V is equal to the square root of 200. The square root of 200 now is equal to 14.14. V, which is velocity, is equal, therefore, V, velocity, is equal to 14.14 meters per second. This is the final answer. So the correct option here is option B, because if we approximate it, this is the same thing as 14 meters per second. So the correct option is option B, 14 meters per second. Question 4 for today says a current of 2 amp flows through a 10 ohms resistor for 5 minutes. What is the heat energy produced? Option A, 2000 joules. Option B, 6000 joules. Option C, 20,000 joules. Option D, 12,000 joules. Solution. From the question, we were given the current, that is I, current to be what? 2 amperes. He said it flows through a resistor. They gave us resistor R to be what? 10 ohms. They also gave us a time, which is 5 minutes. T time is equal to 5 minutes. They say, what is the heat energy? Heat energy H is unknown. Now we need to convert this. Time is measured in seconds, so we convert from minutes to seconds. For us to convert from 5 minutes to seconds, we need to multiply by 60. Don't forget, 60 seconds make 1 minute. So 60 seconds times 5 minutes will convert this from 5 minutes to seconds. So this is the same thing as 5 times 60. This will give us 5 times 60 will give us 300 seconds. Now recall that the formula for heat energy H is equal to I square R root C. This is the formula for heat energy. Now, substituting these values directly into this equation, we have I squared. I squared. Our I is the current, so we have 2. This is equal to 2 all squared times our R is what? 10. 10 ohms. Times our time is what? 300 seconds. This is equal to 2 squared will give us what? 4 times 10 times 300. 4 times 10 will give us what? 400. 400 times 300 will give us what? 12,000. The unit for heat energy is what? Joules. This is the final answer. Therefore, from this option, the correct option is option D with 12,000 joules. This is the correct option. We move on to the next question. Question 5. Question 5 says an object of mass 4 kg is moving at 5 meters per second. What is its kinetic energy? Option A says 25 joules. Option B 40 joules. Option C 50 joules. Option D 100 joules. From the question, we are given mass. The mass is what? 4 kg. It's a moving at a velocity of 5 meters per second. So we have velocity V to be 5 meters per second. They say, what is its kinetic energy? Kinetic energy, we know Ke was not given in this question. They say we should find it. Now, recall that kinetic energy has to do with energy on motion. And the formula for kinetic energy, Ke is given as 1 over 2 mv squared. 1 over 2 mv squared. This is the same thing as 1 over 2 m. We substitute the value of m, which is the mass. 4 kg. This is 4 times 4 times the velocity here is what? 5. Velocity squared, which is 5 squared. This is the same as 1 over 2 times 4 times 5 squared is 5 multiplying itself 2 times. You have 5 times 5 and it will give you what? 25. This is 1 over 2 times 4 times 25 will give you 100. 4 times 25 gives you 100. 1 over 2 times 100 is the same thing as 100. 100 times 1 divided by 2. And this is 100 divided by 2 gives us what? 50. Don't forget, the unit for kinetic energy is joules. Kinetic energy is measured in what? In joules. This is our final answer. Therefore, from these options, we can deduce that the correct answer to this question is option C with 50 joules. Question 7 for today says, a body moves with a velocity of 15 meters per second. If its momentum is 60 kg meter per second, what is its mass? We have the following option: A 2 kg, B 3 kg, C 4 kg, and D 5 kg. From the question, we were given velocity V to be 15 meters per second. 15 meters per second. They also gave us momentum. Momentum as what? 60 kilogram meter per second. They say, what is this mass? Mass. We don't know the mass. From the formula for momentum, momentum is equal to mass times velocity. If we make mass the distributor formula here, we have mass to be equal to momentum over velocity. This is equal to, the value for momentum here is what? 60 kilogram meter per second. Which is 60 kilogram meter per second divided by, our velocity here is what? 15 meters per second. So we have 15 meters per second here. When we divide this will cancel this. We're left with kilogram. 60 divided by 15, we have what? 4 kg. This is our final answer. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C with 4 kilogram. Question 8 says a transformer has 100 tons on the primary coil and 500 tons on the secondary coil. If the input voltage is 240 volts, what is the output voltage? Option A says 120 volts. Option B, 480 volts. Option C, 600 volts. Option D, 1200 volts. From the question, we were given a transformer has 100 tons on the primary coil. So the primary coil, NP, has what? How many number of tons? 100. And 500 tons on the secondary coil. So which is NS is equal to what? 500. It says if the input voltage is 240, what is the output voltage? The input voltage denoted as PV is equal to what? 240 volts. The output voltage, we don't know it. That is Vx. Is known as, is unknown. We don't know it. Okay. Recall the formula. Vx over Vp is equal to Ns over Np. This is equal to, Ns is what? 500. 500 divided by Np is what? 100. This, we don't know the value of Vs, right? So our Vs remains and our Vp is 240 volts. When we make Vs subject to formula there, we have Vs is equal to 500 times 240 divided by what? 100. Let's play. 500 times 240 divided by 100 will give us 1200. The units for that is what? Voltage. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is 1200 volts, which is this. Question 9 says, a ball is projected vertically upward with an initial velocity of 20 meters per second. How high will it go? Take acceleration to gravity g to be 10 meters per second squared. We have option A as 10 meters, option B 20 meters, option C 30 meters, and D 40 meters. From the question we have, they gave us initial velocity, which is what? U, to be 20 meters per second. They also gave us what? They say how high will it go? So the height is unknown. They gave us acceleration to gravity g to be 10 meters per second squared. Now recall that at maximum height, final velocity is equal to 0. At maximum height, final velocity is 0. That is, v is equal to 0. Now recall the formula. V square is equal to u square minus 2gh. If we make h the surrogate of formula here, don't forget we have v to be 0, u, which is the initial velocity, to be 20, g acceleration to gravity to be 10, and h is unknown. If we make h the surrogate of formula here, we have, let's bring this here and take this here. We have 2gh is equal to u square minus v squared. Let's impute the values now. We have 2 into g is what? 10. We don't know the value for h, so we write it down, h. From the question, they gave us initial velocity u to be what? 20 meters per second, all squared, minus our v is what? 0. 0 squared. 0 squared is the same thing as 0. 2 times 10 will give you what? 20h is equal to 20 squared will give you 400 minus 0. 400 minus 0, it's 400. You have our 20h. Now let's find height, which is h. For us to find height, we divide both sides by the coefficient of height of h, which is 20. If we divide through by 20, we have divided by 20, this divided by 20. 20 divided by 20, it cancels out. We have h. h is equal to 400 divided by 20. 400 divided by 20 will give us what? 20. Don't forget, height is measured in meters. So we have 20 meters. From the option here, we have option B to be correct. 400 divided by 20, which is 20 meters. That is option B. So the final answer here is option B. Question 10 says the resistance of a wire is 10 ohms. If the current flowing through it is 3 amps, what is the voltage across the wire? Option A says 3 volts, B says 10 volts, C says 30 volts, and option D says 300 volts. Now let's write out the given parameters. We have the resistance of the wire is 10 ohms. So we have resistance R to be what? 10 ohms. You see, if the current flowing through it is 3 amps, so current is equal to 3 amps. They say, what is the voltage across the wire? Voltage V across the wire is unknown. Now recall from Ohm's law. Ohm's law that V is equal to I R. We know the current, which is I, to be what? 3 amps. The R, the resistance, is known as what? 10 amps. 10 ohms, sorry. 3 times N will give us 30 volts. So therefore, our correct answer, or the correct answer to that question, is 30 volts, option C. 30 volts.